It's a pleasure to be here. I'm dizzy for 2 days now, listening to all these people, and Andrew just raised some very big expectations, saying that I have an incredible story to tell. So, in order to satisfy this, I think we should start with the story from the very beginning. So I would like a short video to be played now, and let's run.
Their name? Otpor, the Serbian word for resistance. Otpor, resistance, is already a year old, but in the aftermath of the NATO bombing, it's growing fast.
Samim tim što smo postali najproganjanija politička grupacija u Srbiji, samim tim te sile priznale su da je Otpor i sam postao sila.
Police harassment has not discouraged them. Recent arrests have spurred a surge in membership.
Danas imamo Otpor u preko 70 gradova u Srbiji.
Otpor presents itself as a national movement.
We did everything like we are a massive movement. We made a congress, we cover whole Serbia. And then after the congress, we did cover whole Serbia. We, said we are a people's movement, although we were just a bunch of students. But after that, we became a people's movement, and everyone came to us.
Elections are still at least a year away. In the meantime, Otpor builds its network, using other weapons to undermine Milosevic. Recruiting and training hundreds of grassroots activists, Otpor has no national leader or central committee. Belgrade sends supplies, but local Otpor activists run their own affairs. It's a conscious strategy, which will keep the local resistance going even if the Belgrade leadership is arrested. Otpor relies on local kids, well known in their own neighborhoods, as the best way to mobilize the discontent which is strongest in the provinces.
They were afraid of us, and they wanted to portray us as terrorists, as fascists, and as, criminals, drug addicts, and something like that. But when people go out in the streets, they see members of resistance. They see that these kids are 18 to 20 years of age. I'm one of the older members, I'm 26, 27 now. And they say, come on, this is ridiculous. These kids are not fascists. These kids are just kids.
Evo, ponovo smo ovde direktno uključeni ispred Niškog supa. Ja ovdje imam primerak jednog teroriste. Živ primerak, njegova bicikla je stradala na granici Srbije i Crne Gore. Kao što vidite, visok je nekih 1,90 m, nosi majicu terorističke organizacije Otpor. Nosi naočare, to znači da mnogo čita opasno u ovoj zemlji čitati, vodite računa.
We knew that Milosevic will not accept. And our advantage was we were prepared for the second step, that he will not win, he will not accept our victory, and he will try to manipulate after that.
They've trained and organized for months. Now they face the decisive test of their nonviolent movement. Can they force the regime to step down?
We had the nation trained not to attack the police, not to use the violence, because our message was there is no war between police and us, that we together are the victims of the system. And there is no reason to have war between victims and victims. One victims are in blue uniforms, other victims are in blue jeans, but there is no reason for that blood.
Vraća se nazad, nazad. A blokira će se bukom. Dobar dan. Dobar dan. Je ovo slobodna država? Jeste. A šta je ovo? Šta je ovo? Prepreka, pošli smo na put. Nećemo ulaziti. Čekaj, je slobodna država ili nije? Nećemo ulaziti u konflikt.
Čekaj, laki, polako. Kolona je dugačka od Čačka. Pomerite kamione, nemate uopšte razloga.
Ljudi, budite i vi pribrani.
A jesmo pribrani, došli smo.
Naređenje nam je tako, znači, ja mogu malo da vam kažem.
Znam. Juče smo...
Vi shvatite mene.
Dobro, hoćemo li mi da preduzimo akciju da vi ništa se ne mešate? Vi ste vaše uradili pod naređenja, mi ćemo naš, znači nemoj samo vi da se
mešate. Imate šansu da nas se priključite, ljudi, ja vam...
I polomit će kamione bez veze. Recite im da ne lome kamione, znači nema nikakve intervencije, ništa. Kad dođe starešina, sačekajte, strpite se. Vi što svakog trenutka dolazi, dogovorite se. Jel može tako? Ne. Recite ljudima kako...
I'm getting very emotional when I watch these things. It's been 5 years ago, but this is not all. There's more. Actually, few months later, we got MTV Free Your Mind Award. Otpor got that award in late 2000 for, I think, what we did. And we became popular. We got phone calls from all over the world with people asking us to help them. Like, share your experience with us. Tell us how you did it. We have similar problems or different problems, but we need to have some sort of response to the problems. So we got calls from different groups, and we were trying to satisfy the demand, as you know. So there is this picture that I want to show you, which I need to present this as a corpus delicti because it's totally unbelievable. This is a group of people that is actually storming the parliament, nonviolent takeover of the parliament. You can see in the upper left corner a flag with a clenched fist. And we don't need Graham's gigapixel camera. We can see that the words under the clenched fist, the word under the clenched fist, these letters are not in Cyrillic alphabet, not in Latin alphabet. It's Georgian alphabet. And this is a movement called Khmara, which was established after our communication and interaction and cross-border networking with our Georgian counterparts. And this movement played a crucial role in taking down Shevardnadze back in 2003. And then after that, there was an Orange Revolution, which is much more popular because
Ukraine is a big country at the border of Russia, which makes all these geopolitical implications, which we had been in contact with Ukrainians for years and sharing our experience with us. So the question that we had from the beginning is how to make this thing more efficient. It's very hard to satisfy the demand. We cannot travel everywhere. There are different groups who were together with us concerned with the similar issues. How to reach people, how to transfer knowledge, how to share experience. Books are okay. First book about how to non-violently bring government to comply with your demands was written in 16th century by Etienne de la Boissy. So there are books about it. But you read a book and, you know, you don't read it again and again and again. You just read it once or twice. Films were made, but again, you watch a film for an hour or so and then that's it. So a group of people, actual organizations, International Center on Nonviolent Conflict, which is an organization committed to research and study of nonviolent conflict as a phenomenon. York Zimmerman as a film production company which made this movie, which you saw the highlights, and the Breakaway Games, the gaming company from Baltimore. We said, okay, let's get together, let's make a video game. A video game called A Force More Powerful. And the concept of this game is to enable a player or an activist or a person, wherever he lives, to learn about the concepts of making a nonviolent strategy, but not just by reading a book or watching a movie, which will be done over a course of a couple of hours, but to play the video game for days, even weeks, to exercise, to learn about different strategies, to try different strategies in the game before they probably try them out in the real world. So we've been working on this game for more than 2 years now, and it's going to be launched in January next year. And the thing is, we put several scenarios, like it's not all about bringing down the dictator, which is the first scenario here on this list, but it's like you can tackle corruption, force a government to launch a corruption investigation. You can end up, for instance, there is a scenario called pain and suffrage. You can end up discrimination of women. You can do ecological campaigns about environmental issues and all sorts of things. So there are 10 scenarios coming with this game. But what is interesting is that we are providing a tool, which is a scenario editor, where players can make their own scenarios and post them on the web and share them with others and discuss different strategies, which means that we don't know what we're going to have on the web. The concept of the game, I will go very shortly because it's very stupid to explain the game. You have to play it. It's like you manage a movement. You need to take care of the characters that are that your movement consists of, groups, and you manage resources, meaning money and people. You conduct tactics by picking tactic coordinator and the tactic and the target of the tactic. And the sequence of tactic is a good sequence of tactic, is a strategy. We're having, let's say, the 3 levels of organization in the game. The alliance level, which is like the big gray screen. Every alliance is like a political affiliated group, which is together based on some issue. And this alliance is consisted of groups. Groups are like police, judiciary, or a trade union, or a student organization. And these groups have characters. So actually the point of the game, if we can say this on the left, is the regime. In this case, it's the city government of Grbac. And this is the movement for freedom from corruption. So the point is that you have only one group in your alliance. You have to pull first these unaligned on the right, and then as much as possible from the government alliance. And then they're, how should I say, then they lost. So you can toggle through this. For instance, this is the legitimacy of the freedom of like our movement in the middle. And you can see only we are green. We think that we're legitimate. Everybody else thinks we're not. So we're having a bad start. But if we toggle and see use of torture, we can see that everybody is green except the 2 characters in the police, which are a little bit orange. So that means that in this society, people don't use torture, except these 2 guys. So you can actually look all the policy preferences and things like legitimacy, fear, etc., etc. And over time, you can see how things change. For instance, this green thing is enthusiasm of your group, and you can see it went up because first it went down at the very beginning, the 10th of April, because of lack of funds, and then it went up when we started raising money. So we are boosting our enthusiasm. So the thing is, you know, this is all nice, and we are like having very complicated things, variables like enthusiasm, support levels, policies, etc., etc. Who's going to play this? This is like all charts and things. So we decided to make this game fun. And like, the thing is, this is how the game will look like. This is, PopTech is the first audience that will see, that is seeing this, which is now going to happen. And this is how the game looks like. This is, unfortunately, we don't get ambient sound, but you'll get it when you get the game. This is, let's say, our rally in front of the local municipality building. These are demographics of the game. Things like public profile, enthusiasm, fear, religion, ethnicity, cultural attitudes. How this woman, what she thinks about other people. Does she hate them, like them? So you can have like, everything is under the hood. And everything that we can model, a player can model in the scenario editor. These are public influence and economic well-being of different groups in the game, which you can also model. This is a national map. You can draw any national map or import a real one with cities and crucial sites in the game. And you can see, for instance, this is a graffiti campaign that you did. So you can see that when you do things, things happen on the screen. This is what we wanted to achieve. We didn't want to have some charts and things that are like boring. We want to have like a successful graffiti campaign. So graffitis are all over the place. But the government also has their own ways. So here is again the tactics wizard, where you choose tactics. Government has their own way of fighting back. So although we may think that this is like this is a sort of political simulation, it's more than that, because the AI of the government in the game is very much something that we worked on very closely. And we tried to do things which will enable a player to get a sense of reality. And what we got was like a regime that is too good. So we had to put traits to make them more real. Like, they waste money because they are like kleptocrats. Or they do ideological purges because they had their... But nevertheless, this is a government rally, which is another vignette that I want to show. They're much better than us, I can tell you, for now. They have a much bigger group of people supporting them, but this is the very beginning of the game. And of course, for the end, it's the rock concert, which at the end got most of the people, which music is above everything. So this is actually what I wanted to present with you. This is like the line starting back 7 years ago from the real world, going into the virtual world. Who knows what will emerge when we put it on the web, when we set up a players community, which will communicate. And again, it is fun, but it is not for fun. It is for real things. It is to help people make and refine strategies to help change their own societies. Thank you very much.